Welcome. So I have some very different kind of books today to share with you. These are all ones where you can use coloured pencil or paints in them. Sometimes when you're maybe going through a sticky patch, shall we call it, or sometimes when you don't really want to think, you just want to get some colours out, then something like this might be of use. So we've got quite a few books here. What shall we start with? Let's start with this one, which is Watercolour with Me in the Forest by Dana Fox. And we've only got US dollars on here. I can't remember how much this one cost me, but it was on Amazon. So this one is rather cute, and it actually has watercolour paper in it as well. So it says, to everyone with a creative, colourful spirit and a sense of childlike imagination. So the kind of projects that you have in this one are some wet on dry projects, and it shows you there all the different items, animals, bugs, etc., flowers that you're going to practice with wet on dry. And then wet on wet with a few more. Then it does a little bit on painting fur, and then some ink and wash finally. So let's just have a little look at this one. She gives you this wonderful master colour chart, so the supplies that you'll likely need, and I guess you could also find some that are similar. You wouldn't necessarily have to have the exact same colours. But it does say that if you wanted to, then you could go to the Amazon shop and get things that this particular artist uses. So then gives you a little introduction, and it talks about doing some wet on dry painting. I've actually already filled this in. So these squares here are where I've filled them in, and this circle here is where I've filled mine in. And then you're into one of the projects, which the first one is Acorns, and it gives you a complete breakdown of how to do it and what colours you're going to need, what brushes, and you can see those are the acorns that I did quite some time ago, I think. And the colours, and I used Michael Harding colours here. I didn't use the exact same colours as the artist. And then you have a caterpillar to do next, broken down, listing everything that you're going to need, all of your supplies. And there's my caterpillar. But the nice thing is, when I show you a blank one here that I haven't done, so this is the fern, tells you the colours and the supplies, and you can see that you've already got the outline, and it is nice watercolour paper. So then you've got some clovers to do, you've got some flowers, you've got a monarch butterfly there. So these are all wet on dry. You've got moth, dogwood, rose, you've got a little cabin there. I'm not doing them all. And then it moves on to wet on wet, and it gives you space to practice that. So you've got what it should look like and all the instructions to do wet on wet. And then you have the ones that you can do for yourself with all the instructions again. So there's some quite pretty little hummingbird, bluebird, tortoise, squirrel, leaves, wild roses, and you can see you've been given these outlines. So if you are not feeling like you're just wanting a bit of an easy time, basically. So here we get to practice doing some fur techniques, painting fur, and then you get to do a hedgehog, a bumblebee, a bear, a skunk, chipmunk, etc. And then the final part on this one is ink and wash, and you get to have a try at doing the ink and wash. You get given the instructions and what you'll need, and then yet again you've got your so this is a dragonfly, and you have got your outline and your instructions. So you've got a stoat, you've got a little mouse. So I think if you just, maybe if you go on holiday and you don't want to rely on finding something that you want to paint, if you just want sit quietly one afternoon, maybe it's a rainy drizzly day, then maybe something like this might be quite useful. But also for youngsters as well, and to get them into using watercolours, or if you're a beginner, because it's giving you some nice techniques there. So that is Watercolour with Me in the Forest by Dana Fox. The next book, also from Amazon, is called In Reverse Colouring Book, Joy, Mindfulness and Fun. And it says 40 plus watercolour designs you can draw on. So you will see that these are all lovely outlines, and it's for you to decide what you would like to do on top of that. So I think this is nice. You've got a test page for your pens there, or maybe your pencils, but yes, you've got some glorious kind of backgrounds here for you to doodle on. Do what you will with. Sometimes we need a starting point, because that's just how we're feeling, and that's okay. So this one is called Reverse Colouring Book, and that was also from Amazon. The next one that I have is called The Art for The Art for Joy's Sake Journal. The Art for Joy's Sake. Okay, and this is Watercolour Discovery and Releasing Your Creative Spirit. Where are we there? By Christy Rice. Some of you may have heard of her. She's also on YouTube. This is a hardback book. You've got your elastic band there. There we go. There's Kirsty. And this includes 9 illustrations ready to be watercoloured on thick textured paper. So this is lovely kind of watercolour paper as well. You get a little letter from the artist. You get some information. I've filled that page in. And then each project, you will see you've been given what you can do. I didn't bother doing the black in between. That's where I've done mine on that side. And you also get a completely blank one. I filled that page up, so that was just one of mine. So yes, this one is Roses and Clementines, and you will see, there you go, there's the one that's already been done, there's the one for you to do, and a second one so that you could do it in a slightly different way if you wanted to. So lots of different pictures here for you, already drawn out, and then you can do what you want with them. And then there are some other little prompts here on some of these other pages, and she tells you the story behind each piece of artwork as well. Plums and peonies, look. So yes, if this is another one for if you just want to get your paints out. I don't want to think about what I need to do. Let me just get my paints. Or you could also probably use pens or coloured pencils in here as well. So 19 projects in the Art for Joy's Sake journal by Christy Rice. Someone got a price on it? No, that one's in dollars as well. But I think I got that one from Amazon as well. And then these two were given to me by my son and his girlfriend. And they are both 365 Days of Art. That's the original. And then you have the 365 Days of Art in Nature. So I have done a lot of these, but what you get is the 365 days, and you can cross them out as you've done them, but you don't necessarily have to do them in order. So obviously paint the ocean from your imagination, that was mine. Then you've got fill a page with things that are the colour red. Draw within the black areas using white pastel or a chalky white coloured pencil. So you get these little prompts. A person, so I drew a person. But yes, you can see where I've completed this. But if we, let me try and find a blank one. Here we go. Here's a blank one. So 65, practice your calligraphy. Continue to add flowers to this meadow, which is on this side. So each page, it gives you design a floral pattern. Fill a page with things that are the colour pink. Create a design on this rug. Draw a wintry forest walk. It's just full of brilliant little quick things. And if on a day you don't have time to do any art, look at this one, draw lots of noses. Draw the face of someone you've seen today. Complete the pattern. Cut a piece of fruit in half and draw what you see. Fill the tree with birds. So they start you off with these little birds. I'm hoping this is kind of close enough, but it might not be. There we go. So you have all sorts of, use the grid to draw geometric shapes. Add stripes to the bees. Lots and lots of different ideas. What was that one? Add your own colourful flowers to the vines. So that's where I've completed that one. So these are really quite cute books. This one is more about nature. So I'm not sure that I've done a lot in this one. Have I done anything in this one? Maybe not. Oh yes, I have. Fill the page with doodles of leaves. You may feel like adding colour afterwards. So this was me doodling leaves. But you've got also, it's a similar kind of format. Continue the flower pattern, but this is all more nature. Add to the design, and you've got some flowers there. This one, it's about drawing an animal, so it gives you something to do on the other side. You don't always need to be sat still to capture the natural world in a drawing. Try drawing whilst you are on the move, perhaps whilst on the train, and it gives you a little idea there. And we've got some shells. We've got an elephant. Design different bird eggs. Oh, I did do one. There we go. I did this one. First draw your scene. Yeah, okay. There I did a little boat scene by the river. So this was a by the river or a pond. Looks like we've got some outlines for some mushrooms there. But yes, I mean, you've got 365 different things to do there. So, really interesting. They were both by Lorna Scobie, by the way. So yes, there you go. Maybe a different idea on doing some art when perhaps you haven't got a lot of time, but you just want to get some coloured pencils, some paint or some pens out. So I hope you enjoy that one. Okay, take care.